Nigeria should be marking a landmark event today as the Minister of Aviation, Mr. Hadi Sirika, has said that an aircraft belonging to Nigeria Air, which is the proposed national carrier, will arrive in the country today ahead of the commencement of operations. Mr. Sirika said the aircraft will be unveiled in Nigeria's colors, green and white, in fulfillment of all the promises made by the administration, that's the administration of Muhammadu Buhari, in the aviation sector. Well, there are different perspectives to this story. We know the matter is also in court, but let's delve into this with Mr. Lucky George, the Executive Director, African Travel Commission. He joins us here in the studio. Mr. George, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you were active, of course, in the aviation sector, tourism, and all of that. And this is not the first time we're having this conversation on this program. We know the pact with Ethiopian Airline has not been received favorably by a lot of stakeholders in the aviation sector. But let's just start from there and find out if you are among those not happy with the pact with Ethiopian Airline. Why are you not happy? Is this not for the development of the sector?
Let me just make it clear. As far as my position is concerned as the Executive Director of African Travel Commission, my job is to promote the entire African continent as a destination in the third market, and that is in Europe, in America, and other parts of the world. But as a Nigerian, as someone who cut his teeth locally here, it will be the most disservice to this country to pick on your competitors that you are bigger than in every ramification in terms of size, in terms of population, in terms of weight, to invite such a country to come and run your aviation sector. I think it's a calamity.
What about in terms of skills and experience?
There is no doubt that the Ethiopian has this experience, they have the skills. But if you don't train people, if you don't stay on the job, how do you acquire the skills? And if you ask all the aviation stakeholders, the engineers, the pilots, the cabin crew, then the travel agents, the tour operators, and the tourism industry in general, the idea is it's a calamity that is about to befall this country. What? Have we lost our pride?
Is this about pride? Is this just about pride? Because if we have to stoop to conquer, you know, if we have to humble ourselves and feel even though Ethiopia as a country is not, I mean, Nigeria is bigger in size and economic strength, but if they are good in this area, then can we lower our pride for a bit and get them to show us how to handle? Because we've tried national carrier a couple of times and it did not work, you know, so can we lower our pride and get them to show us what they do and then learn and then let's say, okay, we're done, can, you know?
Let me just take you down memory lane for you. We tried it in the 80s with KLM. What did we get? They make sure the airline never get off the ground. It collapsed. Then we tried Virgin Atlantic. What happened? It never worked. You see, you are in the same market with these airlines. And for you to take back your own market from them, whether they are investing in your airline, if they are investing into your airline, they are keeping you down so that you don't grow. And don't forget that Ethiopia Airline has bilateral agreement with one of some of the major routes that we fly to. The US, the UK, Germany, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, South Africa. And at the end of the day, this same airline will not be able to go to all these routes because they will tell Ethiopia Airline, you are coming into our country through the back door. You know how these things work under the bilateral agreement. And at the end of the day, this airline will just remain a feeder airline to Ethiopia Airline network. Don't forget that Ethiopia Airline has investment in about 6 other airlines across Africa. You have Sky, which they have about 29%. You have Ethiopian Mozambique Air, which they have about 99%. Then you have the Malawi Air. All these airlines, they just use them as feeders. They bring in passengers from their country into Addis Ababa, which is the main hub of Ethiopia Airlines. And that is what they do. But to me, it's disrespectful to Nigerians for Ethiopia Airlines to go on this course. In as much as we know that the manners and the process that put the proposal on the table, choosing Ethiopia Airlines, was also not being supported by the industry. It was not clear, it was arbitrary, and it was irresponsible, the manner in which it was done. You know what it takes. Aviation goes beyond Naira and Kobo. We pay to service the airports in Dubai, in Qatar, in Addis Ababa, in Nairobi. How much is the ticket? Every Nigerian passenger pay an average of $160 on airport tax. For you, you had paid them to pick you from Lagos to your destination, but they are taxing you for stopping over in their country where they transload you into another aircraft. We develop airports across the world. Why can't we put the money? Look at the issue of...
So what's the issue? Why can't we do? I know we have personnel. We have captains. I mean, on our program, Sunrise Daily earlier, we had a captain. You know, we have a lot of experienced persons in the aviation industry. We can get the money if we want to acquire equipment, because I know the issue of repatriated fund, at least I think we have laid that to rest, even if it's for a short time. So what do you think is a major obstacle against our Nigeria's national carrier being run by Nigerians?
Let me just say this again. We must be very critical of ourselves. The argument is that Nigerians are very corrupt. We cannot run an airline. Does that mean we're going to elect an Ethiopian to serve as the governor of Lagos State or the president of Nigeria because we are scared, we are afraid of failure? And that is the argument. And let me tell you, in the aviation sector, all the so-called aviation experts, like the members who put themselves together as groups, like we have the Aviation Roundtable in Nigeria, who mostly champion the hiring of a foreign partners. They were marketing and sales executives in all these foreign airlines in the past. And at the end of the day, they took money from Nigerians to run local airlines, which they never succeeded. I can mention them, but at the end of the day, they are now working as lobbyists for this foreign airline. What the minister is doing, I've spoken with the president of the Tourism Federation in Nigeria, Mr. Nkwere Onum. I've just spoken with Susan Akporai, the national president of Association of Nigerian Travel Agencies. They said it's a calamity, it's an embarrassment, and it's a project that should not go off the ground. Because as we speak, we're not even sure where is the office of the Nigerian Air. Where are the so-called, who is the CEO? Has the National Civil Aviation Authority given AOC to this airline? Why is this minister in a hurry? Is it that he just want to have it under his name that he did this before he leaves office? It should be gratified that the incoming administration belongs to the same party like himself. He can reach out to them to say, oh, this idea, don't let it then work on it. These are the things that have made a lot of Nigerians to be so skeptical about this project, that there must be personal attachment. And don't forget, I think the minister tend to use his relationship with the president to twist a lot of things, because this is one project that should not see the light of the day. I, as a Nigerian, I traveled recently to the United Kingdom. I could not afford a regular ticket because the cost of the ticket was so much. You can imagine flying an economy ticket and I'm paying 2 million naira. That's after going from Lagos to all those transit, and at the end of the day, you are exhausted. When we can have a national carrier, the market is there.
All right, Mr. Lucky George, this is obviously a lot of questions unanswered at this time, you know, and on top of that is also the issue that the matter is supposed to be in court.
The matter is in court. The last hearing was April 27th.
Yeah, so a lot of questions actually for the minister to answer, but we'll stay on the story here. That's what we can promise you here on Channels Television, and try to get to the bottom of it, why it seems, well, we know that this administration promised to deliver a national carrier, but at what cost? We would stay on that. Thank you so much, Mr. Lucky George, Executive Director, African Travel Commission, for your time this morning.
It's my pleasure.